everyone, I'm Rossella Rago from Cooking with Nonna, and today I am all about Italian-American comfort food. I'm going to be making a classic chicken marsala recipe, and I can't wait to show you guys just how easy this is. This has been a very popular recipe on the website as of lately, and I think a lot of people would love to just see a video just so they can see how quick it is to prepare. There's really nothing to it. So I'm just going to start by getting my olive oil hot. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about the rest of the ingredients. So we're going to start, of course, with some chicken, and these are very thin chicken breasts. These have already been pounded out. If you live in an Italian-American neighborhood like me, you can find, those chicken cutlets that are thin sliced, that are already tenderized, but if you don't, you can just buy regular chicken breasts, cut them in half usually, because you want chicken that's a little bit on the thinner side, and put them between two pieces of plastic and pound it out with a mallet. Take out all your anger. And so in addition to that, we have some flour for dredging. This is just all-purpose. I have some garlic, some cremini mushrooms. You can use baby portobello. You can use even a little bit of porcini. Use any mushrooms that you like. I love mushrooms. I love all mushrooms, so I'm using these mushrooms. I have a little bit of extra flour for later, some fresh parsley, some butter, salt, Marsala wine, of course, and some chicken broth. So I'm going to start by seasoning my chicken breasts with some salt and pepper. There we go. All right, I want to get my chicken dredged in the flour. Use a fork so I don't have to touch the chicken, because then you got to wash your hands, and just shake off. Shake it off, shake it off. And bingo. I'm going to start with this one, and I'm going to start pan frying these. I'm going to do 2 at a time. And you want to do like 2 or 3 minutes on each side, depending on how thin they are. Because you don't need to cook these all the way through. We're going to take them out, and then we're going to add them back into our pan when we have our sauce going. So I know this isn't the most Italian thing I've ever made in my entire life, but I was born in the USA, proud of it. And every Italian-American restaurant I've ever been to has always made this. And it was my favorite because I love mushrooms and I love chicken. And I think the sauce, when it's done well, can be really velvety and really beautiful. And it's a little Italian, it's a little American, but it's 100% delicious. So I don't want to hear it. This one's ready to be turned. Okay, so my chicken breasts are nice and seared on each side. Looks beautiful. So I'm just going to move this out of the way. And I'm going to keep them on this plate while I start building my sauce. Now you might have to add just like a touch more of olive oil. I'm going to turn my fire back on. I'm going to add just a little sprinkle of olive oil. And what I love about this is that all the fat from the chicken, all the flavor, is now at the bottom of the pan. So that's going to be a wonderful layer of flavor in our sauce. Just going to start sauteing some garlic. And see all these little bits? That's going to be scraped up into our sauce later. And let's let the garlic turn a nice golden brown color. And now I'm going to add my mushrooms. Oof. And a tiny, tiny little bit of salt, just because I want the water that's in the mushrooms to come out. So our mushrooms are nice and soft now. And I'm ready to add my marsala. Now, Marsala is a dry wine from Sicily, and I just came back from 5 weeks in Italy, and I was in Catania, so on the other side, but I would have loved to have some Marsala wine in Sicily. Who wouldn't, right? And I just want to let that reduce a little bit. So when you're reducing alcohol, you're going to be able to start seeing vapors of alcohol coming out of the pan. And you know when there's no more alcohol anymore because you won't be able to smell that alcohol smell. And I'm going to start to scrape up the bits on the bottom of the pan. That's called our fond. So I'm going to wait for all the alcohol to reduce a little bit before I add my chicken stock. I'm going to taste one and see if it needs a little bit more salt. A little bit more. Not too much because I'm going to be adding the chicken broth, but I like to salt my vegetables. So now I'm going to add my chicken broth. And I made this with a little bouillon cube, a little Italian dadino, but you can use chicken stock or chicken broth cubes, anything you have really. And if you feel like this is very liquidy and not quite like that velvety classic chicken marsala sauce that you're used to, just wait a few minutes and this will reduce by about half, and then we're going to thicken it up a little bit more later. So now our sauce is nice and reduced, and I'm ready to start thickening it up. So I have a couple tablespoons of butter, because everything's better with butter. And I'm going to lower the heat just a tiny, tiny bit. And I'm going to add about a spoonful of flour, and that will thicken this up very nicely. And we're just going to stir that in, and you'll see the beautiful velvety consistency start to happen. Ah, yes. That is what I'm talking about. That is a beautiful, thick marsala sauce. Okay, now I'm going to add in our chicken again because I want them to absorb the flavor. And number 3. So I'm just going to coat them a couple of times. Not too long because this chicken is actually cooked already from before. This looks amazing. And I'm going to add some fresh parsley on top. Use my tongs to turn it one more time in the sauce. And I'm going to turn off my heat. Oh my God, that looks so beautiful. Okay, so my chicken marsala is all ready, and I cannot wait to taste this. So I'm just going to move this right over here. And I'm just going to get some mushrooms on top. Oh my God, this looks so good, and I feel like this was such a quick and easy meal to put together. So this is a finished chicken marsala, and I'm going to taste just a little bite. I got to make sure it's good, you know. Take a little piece of that right there. Oh, gorgeous. This is delicious. I love the sweetness of the marsala. and I love the texture of the sauce. It's so smooth and delicious. So I hope you guys enjoyed learning how to make this quick and easy chicken marsala. For the exact measurements and the full recipe, please head over to cookingwithnonna.com. There is a link below, and